On today's episode, Caleb and I will be talking about academic mentorship and what that looks like for today's students. Stay tuned. What up, everybody? It's snowing.
Hey, guys, this is Caleb.
And Jill.
And it's February 12th, and it's snowing.
But it's the last snow of the year. I'm guaranteeing that.
You better knock on wood.
Yep.
I'm going to come back to you and hold you accountable for this, because if it snows again, it's on you.
What's going to happen? Nothing.
I don't know.
Think about this. It's February 12th, and there's really no precipitation in the forecast after this little downfall.
For now.
For right now. And then, like next week, it gets in the 50s. Once it's in the 50s consistently for a week, I feel like it kind of stays there, and then we're almost in March.
Yeah, maybe. I see.
You sound like Debbie Downer right now.
My world.
Maybe.
Growing up. Just call me Debbie. Growing up in Denver.
Danny Downer.
Growing up in Denver, the two snowiest months of the year are March and April.
Right. And that was when you were in Denver.
For sure. But I'm a product of my upbringing.
I'm calling it. This is it.
I think it's going to snow one or two more times.
Okay. Well, fans,
No, I don't. I'm on board with
fellow listeners. Who do you think is right?
Oh, shoot.
We're going to post it on our IG. We're going to have a little poll. Is it over? Or are we getting more? Team Jill or Team Caleb?
I hope I'm wrong.
Me too.
So I want to be
just
on
so
Team
I'm
Jill.
right.
You would. That does sound right, doesn't it?
I know.
That's cool.
Anyway, I'm just over this one. This is a very pretty snow. It's that big flakes, heavy falling.
Right.
But then tonight it's supposed to freeze, and it's going to be horrendous.
Didn't we see that it was going to be like -9 wind chill tomorrow?
By 8 o'clock tomorrow, -9. It's going to feel like -9.
Oof. Yeah, no, thank you.
That's why I'm ready for summer as well, and I hope this is the last snowfall.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not so bad when it's snowing and cold. I feel like I can handle that. But if it's just cold, ugh.
Oh, really?
I'm over it.
Huh.
Put me on a beach.
Yeah, I just would prefer warm all the time.
I know.
Actually, I kind of like seasons. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love fall and the changing of the leaves and all that.
Yeah.
And we don't get that if we don't get winter, right? So,
fine. Whatever.
I'll lean into it for now.
Okay. But I just wish the fall and the spring were a little bit more extended.
Yeah. No, for sure. I get it.
But Kansas City does have a really good all 4 seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, they really do.
Absolutely.
We get them all. It's fine.
I mean, I'm
going to stop complaining about it now.
It's not like the Northeast where we used to live, and winter was like literally from the beginning of October until mid-April.
Yeah.
And it was a long winter for me.
The snow piles,
I was not ready.
massive. They don't melt until July.
Ooh,
nope.
Big brown snow pile.
Ugh, not for me. Not for me. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about academic mentorship.
Yeah, this is kind of exciting.
Yeah, it is.
So, again, this is going to be building off a product that we've had in the past, and it's kind of morphed a little bit over the years. And then we're just excited to kind of launch something with a little bit more structure and intentionality. And this is going to be great. Yeah,
I feel like a lot of students would really benefit from this for sure. So I'm just going to say the definition, and we'll kind of play off of that exactly what it is. A positive role model of a successful student who supports their mentee by giving academic advice, sharing resources, and caring about the student's success.
Absolutely.
I feel like these are like 3 really basic things, but very important.
Right. Especially in the development of a person, right? Mm-hmm. Like, and finding the right person to do this, right? Not everybody's going to be well equipped.
Right.
Or maybe they're equipped in one area, but maybe not the other 2.
Good point.
So something we're going to really focus on is helping our mentors, right? Mm-hmm. Really become really skilled at all 3 different levels along the way. And again, some of this is still a little bit of a brainchild because we're going to be launching this summer, but it's just an idea that we think is important for student success. Yeah. And again, like I mentioned, development of an adolescent.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a tough time.
Well, and just to kind of, I mean, this sounds very childlike, but just to kind of walk through high school and kind of take their hand and show them exactly, let's do this. Let's work on this. Okay, now we're going to be focusing on this. I mean, those are just different things that are very simple, very basic, but some students don't have that, and they do need that guidance and that leadership. So I think it's going to be really exciting for Get Smarter Prep and our students that are coming through here.
I agree.
Yay.
This is exciting.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about a couple different things. So setting students up for success and what that looks like through time management, organization, and the last, but certainly not least, confidence.
How about that, huh?
Yes, confidence changes everything.
I agree.
Yeah.
Never mind. I was going to go a different direction.
Okay. We can talk about that in a second.
We'll talk about that.
In a second. Okay. So what does it look like when we're setting students up for success? Setting expectations.
So this is really the planning stage, helping students kind of have foresight, just beyond today or tomorrow or this week. Like some of this planning, we need to look a semester ahead or a year ahead. And some of that is just a tough thing for children or young people to do. So that'll be the first piece, is just trying to help them kind of set those expectations for the short term, the midterm, and the long term.
Yep. And we have a roadmap to success. I know we've talked about this on podcasts before, but it's just a good visual for students to look at.
Yeah.
And you just follow the path. Okay, as 7th, 8th graders, this is what this is going to look like this year, what you should be preparing for. Freshmen.
To high school, freshmen.
Yep. Sophomore onto college, what we need to look for, before college and even beyond college.
Career development.
Yeah.
That's another piece that we're really excited about here at Get Smarter Prep is, and again, maybe that'll be another podcast down the road,
yes.
But the idea of helping college graduates or just individuals in the 18 to 22 range kind of launch successfully.
Yeah.
So
I love, speaking of that, just the career assessment test. I
do too.
I think that's so interesting. And I wish I would have done something like that in high school, just to kind of figure out, all right, this is definitely not my jam over here. Over here. Don't even worry about it. Even if you're thinking, oh, well, my friend is doing that. I think I could do it. Maybe. Yeah. Nope. Don't even waste your time. Clearly, that's not your forte.
Yep.
But over here, you can do this and this and this and this. And it's something that you're going to really enjoy and you're going to be successful at it.
A game changer, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you asked an average high school student about like all the careers that they know, maybe they get 24 max.
Yeah.
And there are thousands of careers out there.
Yeah. It's kind of mind blowing.
So I think it opens students' minds a little bit and helps them see kind of all the opportunities and how different jobs are going to be.
Yeah.
And the cool thing is with this, it's going to take into students' interests, but it's also taking into account their skills. So again, maybe you prefer working alone, but being an engineer or an actuary is not a good fit because you don't like math and you're not good at math, right? Like lean into your skills, right? If you're a verbal kid, do something where you're going to have a chance to talk with people and interact and use those skills in a different way.
Yep. And it's kind of a process of elimination, right? I mean, sometimes that works best for students as opposed to, I want to do this. I know I want to do this. This is what I'm going to go for.
Right.
Some students, that's wonderful. They know exactly what they want. But others, it's this big world with so many different choices and experiences. And I think I want to do this. I may want to do this. I kind of want to dabble in this. But if we have that process of elimination, actually, this is not really a good choice for you because you don't like doing this, or your skill set isn't really strong in this area. What about this over here?
Yeah, it's kind of a related position, but it's different.
Yeah, and then kind of looking at your majors from there, and then looking at the schools that have the majors. So it's really a successful skill to hone in on,
absolutely,
take advantage of for sure.
It's also interesting because it gives us an opportunity to talk about some of the process to get to a certain position, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe the student is very well suited for a management role. Well, you're not going to graduate high school, graduate college, and move right into management. Right? It's not going to happen. Yeah. So understanding and planning for what is this development going to look like? How can I prepare for that next step in my career? And not just assume, oh, this is what I should be doing, so just put me in it. Right?
Like every college student thinks, okay, I have my degree. Let's look at the difference, career builder, monster. Oh, wait, you need 4 years of experience.
Right.
I don't have 4 years of experience. I was in school.
Exactly.
That was so frustrating, I think, for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure every college student.
I totally agree. It's even interesting. I have a niece who just graduated from PA school, physician assistant school. And it's interesting to see so many of the jobs require a minimum of 2 years experience.
Right.
And it's kind of crazy because like she can prescribe medicine. She is like very highly skilled.
Yeah.
But they're still expecting some kind of experience even though she just graduated.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and then to start a job for 2 years, knowing this is just, just a little bit
a
of
holding spot.
Yep.
And honestly, oftentimes when they say 2 years, they want some kind of experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, maybe even in that position that you're in, you'll grow into another role more quickly than that.
Yep.
Again, demonstrating competence and doing a good job at what you're doing. But.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, that's how a mentor can kind of help the student, the mentee, setting those expectations, setting those goals. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
We talk about this a lot. Setting realistic goals. Again, it translates over into adulthood.
Absolutely.
You can't really come in with a 23 on your ACT and say, I want a 10-point jump. I want a 33.
Just automatically.
Yep. 6 weeks. I need a 10-point jump.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be so awesome.
I would do a lot of things for that, but it's unlikely to happen.
Right. So setting those realistic expectations.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly.
Very good.
And working through those goals together. Right?
For sure.
So again, kind of that hand holding, let's have a meeting. Let's talk about this. How are you working towards this goal?
Exactly.
What's next after this goal?
And regular check-ins, right? I think that's an important piece. It's not just setting a goal and leaving it, right? Like even organizationally here at Get Smarter Prep, like I come up with a yearly plan and a 5-year plan, but I don't just like create it and then move on.
Right.
I try to revisit that as frequently as I should. And I should do that even more than I do.
Yeah.
But it's an important step is the check-in piece.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. And then what else after that? Maybe time management.
Yeah. So some of these skill building.
How to work through those goals with the time management piece comes into play.
And that plays a part in all of our lives, right? Every facet. So including school, relationships with friends, our parents, our families.
Yeah.
How do we appropriately use our time?
Right.
Because again, we need some time where we decompress a little bit, whether
100%.
Whether you're on TikTok or if you're a parent not on TikTok and probably on Facebook or Insta or something like that.
Yeah,
right?
Yep. Amazon.
Oh shoot, a little retail
kind of go down the rabbit hole there.
Seriously. But again, learning how to structure time, even if it's not like hyper structured, but learning how to appropriately spend your time. Right. And I think that's a big lesson that young people, it makes me sound really old.
Well, just kidding.
To help them just maximize the gifts that they have and the time that they have. And again, sometimes when we're young, we just think, oh, we have forever. Right. Like, why don't I just go do whatever I want right now? Yep. But again, it's those habits that we create. And again, we want to have a good work-life balance for sure, but that also includes some work along the way.
Exactly. Well, and that kind of brings me to my next point of just the responsibility piece, right? So I know for me, when I was in high school, I mean, this has kind of been a part of me forever, but if I have a list of things to do, I can't really settle down and truly relax unless that list is at least partially checked off, right? I mean, there's so many things that I still have to do in order for me to sit down and read a book or sit down and have a nice cup of coffee and just relax and chill out for a little bit. But same for, high school students, learning that responsibility piece of, hey, I wish we could do this or I wish we could do this, but there's a couple different things that we need to do beforehand.
Exactly.
So, just making sure they do that. And I think a lot of our students are very good about that piece.
I agree.
Doing your homework, getting your homework done before your next study session, coming to office hours.
And I think they're generally way better at it than what culture or pop culture kind of stereotype students as.
I think so too. Yeah.
Again, there's this idea that students are instant gratification. We want it right now. And I think there are instances, there are things, whether it's social media or whatever else. Yes. But I think most of our students, and maybe I'm being naive, but I think they're pretty good at balancing that idea and knowing that they have some kind of responsibility. And again, I even see a difference between sophomores and juniors in this regard, right? The maturity level that happens in those 6 months or a year, whatever it is is amazing. Yeah. Right. So just kind of gaining some new skills and maturing a bit. Some of that just happens naturally.
Right.
We just want to be able to help facilitate it and accelerate that process a little bit.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think maybe having a part-time job or being in sports, that also really helps students be more responsible because they're on a team now.
Yeah.
You know, they're part of a work environment. They have a boss.
Someone other than themselves.
Right. So I think that really comes into play as well.
Yep. Agreed. Another piece of the skill building side is going to be organization, right? And sometimes it goes hand in hand with time.
Talking my
management.
language.
Oh, shoot.
I love being organized.
A little Marie Kondo.
No, not like that.
Hardcore.
Not that extreme. I like things. I like having my things, but just being organized.
Yeah.
I feel like I get really cluttered in my brain. You know, if my house is messy, if there's toys everywhere, if I still have some laundry to fold, if there's dishes in the sink, you know, if I still need to clean the bathrooms or dust or whatever it is, make my bed, you know, once I get all of those things done, then everything looks more pretty too. You know, it's just, the house is pretty. There's a candle lit. It smells good. Now there's relaxation in my physical as well as mental.
I get you.
Yeah.
I get you.
But I don't want to give everything away. Sometimes I do.
Sometimes.
A couple times a year I'll go through things. But
Right.
Yeah.
So this is an interesting piece because I honestly see organization being hand in hand with time management, right?
100%.
Sometimes if we are properly organized, we're actually going to save so much time down the road and allows us to do more in the same time frame, right? Mm-hmm. On the other hand, I know students who take that organization piece to the extreme, and it's about the organization, not about getting the project accomplished or managing their time properly. Because they will spend... Again, this is a little bit subjective, but also sort of objective. They'll spend 4 or 5 times longer than they need to on that organization piece. And now you just stole so much time. And then there's so much added stress. And
they get hyper focused on one thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So some of it is going to be understanding like how do we organize properly, either a little less than what you are now, or maybe it's considerably more because you're not doing any organization.
True.
And your backpack
depending
or your
on
locker
the student
looks like a mess.
Oh, yeah.
Or even just properly using a planner. There's a lot of pieces there that can really help us out.
Absolutely. I agree. And that kind of also stems from grade school to middle school to high school.
Right.
You know, it flows through different seasons of your life. Yep. You know, junior year is a pretty important year, right?
Absolutely.
For high school students.
And crazy busy.
But still, it's only 1 year.
Right.
You know, kind of compartmentalize different aspects of your junior year. Mm-hmm. Keep on moving, keep on flowing. The ACT is one part of that process.
Right.
It's 6 to 8 weeks. It's
right.
a little part of your year, right?
Right. Yeah,
but an important piece.
And again, that goes back to the goals where sometimes families set goals that are a little bit, let's just call them a stretch, right? Mm-hmm. And what happens is when we're fixated on a number rather than like what's right for the student or again, what else is happening in life, sometimes we drag that out over 6, 8, 12 months.
Oh, yeah.
And that hurts my heart for a student because they're already so stinking busy. Yeah. And it kind of just goes back to this idea of like, let's make sure that we start off setting some good goals, planning properly.
Yep.
We're building some skills. We're kind of focused on that time management and the organization. And
another little piece. I like it. And the last piece of the puzzle that kind of flows into every aspect of that is building confidence in your student.
Yeah. No, and this is that personal development side of an individual or a student in this case. Mm-hmm. And it's just helping them, again, know who they are maybe a little bit more, have some confidence in their abilities.
Right.
And just finding some satisfaction or pride in their work.
Yeah.
Things like that.
On a personal level, but also, as we're talking about an academic mentorship, it's really nice to be praised for good work.
Absolutely.
I'm thinking about my 4-year-old, it's like, oh, good job. You picked up your toys without having to, get after you so many times. Pick up your toy, please. Pick up your toy, please. Pick up your toy, please. If he does that by himself And I am so proud of him, and I relate that to him and praise him. More than likely, he's going to do it again by himself the next time, right?
I mean, support.
Yes, it's so important for kids and students and high schoolers and even adults. You know, people like to be praised, maybe not overly praised, but they like to be recognized and appreciated.
Absolutely. For sure.
So, yeah.
And I think one of the big things that comes out of this is just a new motivation for students and knowing that they can do more than what they have done in the past. And it just is that encouraging piece along the way to keep going toward their goal.
Yeah. And they may not see that in them, but someone else can see that in them.
Yeah.
So to draw that out of them, that's huge. And it makes them feel like, wow, I really can do this. Didn't think that I was going to be able to do it at all.
For sure.
But I just did it.
Nailed
that
it.
accomplishment is awesome.
Yeah.
I love that piece. Absolutely.
And then the added bonus into all of this is, again, the student is going to be working with an academic mentor. And guess what? They can also help with some basic homework needs.
Yeah.
Right? So they're not going to be there all week long, every day, every afternoon helping the student, but they can help kind of answer a couple questions or clarify things or again, encourage them to, again, reach out to their teacher, go after school, just stop in for 10 minutes and ask some questions of the teachers themselves. Sometimes parents talk about these things, but oftentimes it falls on deaf ears.
Okay, Mom.
Right.
Okay, Dad.
So having somebody else kind of talking about those same things can really pay off.
Yeah, that's a good point. I like that. Yeah, if I would have known, I mean, obviously the teachers are there, but to take more advantage of their time, you know?
Right.
They're there after school.
Right.
Pop on in, like you said, ask a couple of questions. There's this problem. There's this, thing that you can't get over.
Yep.
If you have a little, just 5-10 minutes of one-on-one time with your teacher and they explain it to you in maybe a different way than they explain it to the class, mind-blowing.
Right. I always had it in my head that teachers were kind of underpaid, right? And that I didn't want to waste their time. But guess what? They're kind of expected to stay a certain number of hours.
Yeah.
So they're stuck. And guess what? They want to see students succeed.
Of course they do. Yes.
So leverage that. Go take that time. And again, you're building a new relationship there too. You're building some trust, and you're also, again, maybe helping that grade in the long run.
Yeah.
Again,
well,
if it's like an 89.5, you're going to round up or round down now.
Right. You have that relationship. You've built that relationship.
Right.
I 100% agree. And you're showing initiative. You're showing, you're being responsible for yourself and your grades. And the teacher is going to really appreciate that more than, they got a C in class. I mean, they were trying. They were doing well. They were working hard.
Right.
But had they come in a couple times, they could have increased that to a B, maybe an A.
Right.
They're going to show initiative. Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Exactly.
Very
cool.
Good.
All right. Well, if you have any more questions about our academic mentorship, give us a call. Have a lookie online. And other ways, just keep warm and
I know.
Don't get caught in the snow and the ice this evening.
Right.
Ooh.
Gross.
I know, right?
Excellent. Hey, thanks, guys, for listening.
All right. We'll see you next week.
High school can be tough. We'll help you navigate some of the areas you need help with, including the college preparation process, by providing advice for families. Every student is different and has a unique path. That's why we created this podcast. Our innovative and intentional approach builds confidence in the individual student. Listen each week to find out how students can score better on college placement tests with techniques and methods that build confidence, beat test anxiety, and identify strengths within each student. You're listening to Simply Smarter with hosts Caleb and Jill. Check out our blog at GetSmarterPrep.com for more college prep related topics.